what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Niles. I'm really happy to have you here. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. If you're not, welcome back. Y'all know what it is. All right, so for those of you who've been with the journey, I was living in Florida at one point in time, and now I'm living in Spain. I'm an English teacher, and I love it, honestly. But this is a special video because I just turned 30 yesterday. I'm currently in Portugal, in Lisboa. I will just say this right now, best European food I have had. That includes Germany, Spain, the UK, and now Portugal. So please, if you are trying to come to Europe, definitely visit Portugal. That's the place to be. But like I was saying, this video is kind of important because it's my 30th birthday. I just turned 30 yesterday, and I have advice for men in their 20s. Maybe you're approaching 30, maybe you're reflecting, maybe you're older and you kind of want to see what the younger folks are doing. But this is kind of a take on the 20s in my life. And I just want you guys to kind of just take a note of it, see what you think, and we can keep going. Now, a few caveats, just kind of let you guys know who I am, where I'm from. I was born in New York to Caribbean parents. My mother's from Guyana, South America. My father's from Trinidad and Tobago. I was born in Brooklyn. I've lived in Georgia, Florida, all over the place, Michigan. I went to NYU. I have a bachelor's in politics. I have a master's in education. And basically, I love living, I love life, I love cooking, I travel, I do all that kind of good stuff. So if this is something you think is going to be interesting to you or you want to take part in, stay around, all right? And let's get into it, okay? All right, so first things first, like I said, this advice is for men approaching 30, maybe in your 20s. Maybe you're trying to think about how to go through life. So take a note, a word from me, if that applies, and see if it works. If it don't work, throw it away. If it do, take something with you, all right? So I'm gonna say this first, because this is most important to this video and to the ability for it to impact your life. These are the qualifications that I think you're gonna need to meet for the advice to resonate with you. And bear with me, I think there's an airplane going on above, so just give me a second. Well, I cut my hair up, y'all. I went bald the other day, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Also, I'm probably not gonna have a lot of bells and whistles. You're not gonna see all these crazy lights and all this editing stuff. You might get a little, but not too much, because I just want to make sure y'all have this content and y'all can see this as clear as day. So, like I was saying, qualifications. The most important thing is being able to apply the advice that's given to you. I can't give you advice if, you know what I'm saying, you don't fall in line with these things. So here are 5 qualifications that I think are very important to being able to apply the advice I'm giving to you. Number 1, a simple belief in yourself and your power under God, obviously. But it's really important to, number 1, have faith in yourself and belief in yourself, right? If you are somebody that's always following the crowd, or you got to double check with your friends, or you worried about what your grandma thinks or what auntie thinks, it's not going to work. This advice won't work for you because whatever they think is always going to override it. Number 1. Number 2, intelligence. Now, you should be intelligent, right? And I'm not trying to talk down to people. Again, nothing that I say in this video is about being better than anyone or being more worthy than anyone, but you have to have a sense of intelligence, right? You have to be smart. And what I mean by that is not only in the academic sense, but you need to be able to apply your intelligence, emotional intelligence, financial intelligence, social intelligence, all of those factors, right? You may not have to be like the best in each one, but you have to be smart enough to see that your intelligence is what's going to help you not only to apply this advice, but to make it through the world, I suppose, right? Number 3, divine opportunities and chance. And what I mean by this one, obviously, because you can't just have this, right? Somebody, I mean, God, whoever you believe in the universe should be giving you this, but it's kind of like a halfway thing. If you are blessed with opportunities and chance, you got to be able to walk through that door. If you can't walk through that door, this ain't for you, period. Walk, roll, crawl, cry, whatever through that door, this ain't for you, all right? Number 4, sorry. Unbelievable work ethic and an unwillingness to lay down and die. And I don't mean that you're the guy who is always, you got another plane going above. Give me a second. I don't mean like you're the guy that's always working, never resting. You just work until you die because rest is important. But I'm saying like the work you're doing has to come from a place of integrity and has to come from a place of gratitude and the willingness to share, right? That work ethic has to be shown. You cannot be a lazy person with this. And the second part, unwillingness to lay down and die. If you're one of those people who just say, oh, I'm gonna take it as it comes and well, this ain't for you. Sorry, period. Number 5, and the ability to be uncommon, the outcast, and or the loser. Again, and this kind of goes with the first one, you know, if you are always double checking with your friends, or if they get the new Jordans, you need the new Jordans, or if they got a BMW, you need a BMW, or if they're in Atlanta, you need to be in Atlanta, not for you. Not for you, period. Keep moving. Like, no disrespect, but you're going to find somebody else on YouTube who's going to give you what you need. But this ain't for you, all right? Those are the 5. Simple belief in yourself and your power. 2, intelligence, and not always in the academic sense. Divine opportunities and chance, and walking through those doors. And then an unbelievable work ethic and an unwillingness to lay down and die. And lastly, the ability to be uncommon, the outcast, or the loser. All right? If you meet those 5, this advice will be for you. Let's get it. All right, cool. So let's get into it, right? Lesson 1, don't take advice from anyone less successful than you, but listen to the old people. That one is pretty straightforward. Kanye West said that many years ago, and I'm not here to criticize him. This video is not about him, but the advice he's given is still very important. It pretty much is very straightforward. If the people around you have not reached or done the things you want to do, it is a hindrance to yourself and potentially fatal to take advice and apply it to yourself when in actuality, what you could be doing is really hurting yourself. If everyone in your neighborhood has been a bus driver and you want to be an astronaut, there's only so much they can advise you on. And it's very important that you take the advice with a grain of salt. I don't mean to disrespect these people or to say that they are below you in any way. No, but you have to be rational with how much you are taking and what you will leave behind. Very important there. Number 2, or the second part of that, do listen to the old people, right? And again, this is not to say that you need to follow their rules for life, right? But they have lived many years over you, twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times over your lifetime. And they have such an immense wisdom and an ability to see things that you may not be able to see right now, simply because it's human nature and you might not have come across it yet. It's important that you listen to them, hear what they're saying, right? Because they've seen this world many times before you have. And it's very important. Like I said, don't take advice from people less successful than you, but listen to the old people and allow their advice to temper whatever it is you're going for. They may encourage you beyond your years. I lived in Florida for many years, I'll say 2 years after graduate school with my grandmother. This was shortly after my mom died. And I was able to take such great advice, not only from her, but her community of elders. I mean, the old ladies going to church. I mean, the old people working wherever they were, right? I was 26, 27, living down there. And I would have to say that was one of the most fundamental parts of my 20s, is taking the time away from the college, the party, the career, all of that I thought was necessary, to sit down with the old people and to be in community with them and to hear them. Worthwhile. So like I said, this has to do with human nature and observation. As you move forward in this world and you try to achieve more, people will try to belittle you because they don't believe that you can get what you're supposed to get, or you're acting uppity, or you're thinking too highly of yourself. Those people, their ruler is here. Yours should be here, right? And the old people, they are some of the greatest resources that you will have in your pocket, right? Make friends with that old person. I mean, don't be creepy, like, you know what I'm saying? But if they in your neighborhood, if they are your counterpart, they're your grandma friend or something, talk to them. Take them some food. You know what I'm saying? Sit down with them, ask them about their life, right? Because those are stories that you'll never read in a book, but could be extremely, extremely valuable to you moving forward. Cool. Round 2, make room for the impossible. It can happen if you let it. Now, something about me is I have always been the type of person to, wait, going by. Damn. All right. I've always been the type of person to shoot for the stars. Because if you shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon. And what I mean by that is, in high school, I applied for a scholarship. I didn't even know if I wanted to go to college to begin with. I applied for the Gates Millennium Scholarship. Lo and behold, to me, I won it. Didn't make sense to me at all. Talking about moving to Europe, didn't think it would happen. It happened. I have so many people in my life, and even my best friend, and it kind of hurts me, but because I want more for him, but it's like even he sometimes will shoot himself in the foot before he's able to run. And so this piece of advice here to make room for the impossible, it can happen if you let it, is very much around faith, your mindset, and ability, right? There's only so much we can do as humans in terms of, maybe the 16 hours that we're awake in the day and the amount of work we can put in, everything else that goes on in life. But if you don't make room for the impossible or even to look for it, you're going to miss it. Like, life goes by this quickly. You have to be able to give yourself the hope and the freedom that, yeah, it could happen to you. You could become the next Oprah. You could become the next Cristiano Ronaldo. You could become whoever you want to be quite honest. But you have to believe that there is space for that. And that goes into that part of my qualifications. Divine openings and chance. You have to be able to see it. If you're not looking for it, you ain't gonna see it. There was a Harvard study done, I think, and maybe not Harvard, but there was a study done that said, if you're driving in a certain color car, you're gonna notice all the cars that look like that, right? So if I'm in a red car, I'm gonna start noticing all the other red cars. If I'm wearing a yellow shirt, I'm gonna start noticing everybody wearing a yellow shirt. If I have the mindset of the impossible can happen and it will happen to me, I will start to see the opportunities as they laid around the universe, around this world that I'm in, right? Very important for you to see that. You cannot win every battle, nor should you try to. You must learn to use your enemies, but never forget. This one was hard for me to learn because I grew up, my mom's Caribbean, and we real spicy people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when it go left, that's it. Like, it's left. But as a young man, as I'm coming to learn, you can't. Every battle can't go left. And what I mean by that is, like, you can't burn every bridge, and not for the sake that the bridge is not toxic. The bridge might just be toxic, or what's on the other side is really not healthy for you. Like, it's just y'all don't click, right? But at the same time, as a young man, like I'm saying, like I've come to learn in my 20s, is you have to learn to balance that out. You might need that enemy in the future. And I don't mean like, you need to be responsible for them or they need to come save you. I'm talking about maybe in a work sense. I'm talking about maybe in a social sense, right? Your ability to work with people you don't like and to keep the peace when it's necessary to keep the peace is going to be very important for you, because especially as Black people, we can come across as the angry Black man, the angry Black woman. That can lead to becoming discredited, and that can also lead to people calling you crazy and saying you have mental health issues, and then that can lead down a road of very, very treacherous places to be. And I've seen it firsthand, right? And it all comes from a place of being hurt, of feeling like the people who were around you did not have the best interest in your life, and now you just want to remove them. I'm gonna cut you off, and you not in here no more. Dangerous, very dangerous place to be. You have to learn to use your enemies wisely, not only for your survival, Very important. That's all I could say there. I don't want to say too much more. This is the next one. It was never cool to be dumb. Never. I know a lot of people who get by on being dumb, and as I look at them where they are now, I'm talking about from high school, I'm talking about the class clown, I'm talking about in college, the cool guy, the fun guy, the one who just wasn't showing up but he had all the cool clothes, or you know what I'm saying, you were just dumb in the party and you just dumb like that doesn't do anything for you at all. Because no one's coming to save you, especially as men. There's no honor in being dumb. None. You got to leave that behind. And you have to also leave behind the idea that, to be smart is weird or you're a nerd. You need knowledge in this world, right? Because people will try to run over you. People will try to run over you quick with the knowledge they think they have. You got me? Don't play yourself to think that being dumb is smart. Now, with that being said, you don't have to go around showing people you're the smartest person. You might have it in your head, but you ain't got to say it, right? But to have it in your head is the important part, right? Don't walk around here empty-headed like you don't know what's going on. You don't have to tell everybody what you know, but it was never cool to be dumb. Never cool. From people you're dating, to your academics, to your work, never cool to be dumb. Yeah, I cut my hair off, guys. It looks pretty good. I like it. Like, that's another thing. It's not a lesson, but I cut it off. Wow. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. All right, number 5. Become a student again. Become a student again. If you find yourself not learning, it is probably time to pick up something new. And I say this after being a career student. I was in high school, then I went to college, and I went to grad school, and now I'm a teacher in Spain. And it's been one of the most beautiful lessons or experiences that I could have had so far. But there is something even more magical to being a student again. Just recently, I picked up an extracurricular training. I don't feel comfortable saying what that is right now, but in the future I will. But it has forced me to become a student again. I'm in a place where I have to learn. I'm not the best, right? Even if I might have talent or I might be strong, I'm not the superpower, right? And it's not just based on like intellectual ability. You have to be able to, this is something that you gain with years of practice, years of dedication. And one thing it does for you is it humbles you. So you are now in community with other students, and there's one person who is top notch, who knows things that maybe you don't even know yet, bro. And anyway, point is, to be a student again is very valuable. And I just learned this in my 29th year, to be quite honest. If there's ever a point where you're not learning, you gotta pick. And you know, self-learning is one thing. Like, you can open a book and sit down and study all day. Like, that's cool. But it's like there's something about being in a class, and this might have to do with human nature and our love to gather socially, right? Like, there's something about being in the student class and learning from a teacher or an elder that is prime, absolutely prime. Take it with you, all right? Go see your grandparents, but know when to leave. Know when to leave. This goes for your mother. Go see your mother, but know when to leave. This goes for your brother. Go see your brother, but know when to leave. This goes for your dad, your auntie, your uncle. Go see them, because I'm a big family person. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I believe in family. I think family is very important. And I saw this through the eyes of my mother, because my mother was a rock star. And I mean that in the sense of she had such a light on her that she was able to do things way before the time that many other people could. Black women, you know, women in law, you know, but she did it in such a way that it was everybody who knew her like knew it was Michelle's way, and that was it. And what I'm saying though is like people can end up having jealousy for that down the road, and people can end up despising you for that. And I don't just mean her. It could be me. It could be you. It could be, you know, your brother. It could be whoever you're talking to, right? They could have some underlying thing that you don't even know about. So it's like, yes, go foster that community and be with them, but know when to walk away. Because after too long, what is that word? Familiarity breeds contempt, right? Contempt. C-O-M. I ain't gonna try to spell it. Contempt. Look for that word. All right, bet. Last but not least, people are not your friends, but it's not you, it's them. And this kind of leads to the same point that I was just talking about. I've always been a very social person. I've always been somebody who has loved the, you know, social gathering, to be outside, to be in groups, be in fraternities, to be, you know, in the group and in the fun group and all that kind of stuff. But I think TD Jakes put it best. There's three classes of friends. People who are there for you, people who are there for what you are going towards, and people who are simply against what you're against. All right, three categories. For you, for where you're going, and against what you're against. In many cases, in our 20s, we are jumping from groups to groups, trying different things, as we should, right? Like, we're young people. These are things we should be encouraged, like, looking into and trying new things and really get into all that kind of life. It is rare that somebody comes along and is just for you. I can say right now on my hand, I've got two people in my life who are here for me. Not because of where I'm going or not because we're against what we're against, but because they like who I am, right? Two people. The other part about this is that it leads back into the idea of jealousy too. It's never really about you, right? When people don't like you, it's not really about how you look or, you know, what you ate for dinner. It's more so that you show them what they're not capable of doing, right? Whether it's because they don't want to, they never learned it, they don't have it in them to do it. When you shine, you show people what they can't do, right? And so it's not about you. To exclude you is like, it makes them feel comfortable because it's like, yeah, I don't have to see that light in my eyes all day, right? But most times you'll take that as a personal thing, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I thought we was buddies. I thought we was cool. I thought we was vibing. And the actual idea is you're not, right? Because, again, it's not you. It's just simply because you're doing too much, right? You're doing too much for them. So like I said, be wary of that because that jealousy can turn into like other things and you got to be very careful about where that's going. All right. Last but not least, this is the last one that I will talk about. This is the bonus. It's number 8, but it's also the bonus. It's better to share a slice of your cake with somebody, even a stranger, than to eat it alone. Like, I'm in my Airbnb right now, and there's this guy in the next room who I'm staying with. Well, it's not his house, but he's here as a guest. There's 2 bedrooms in the spot, so I got one. He got the other one. His name is George. He's, 50, 60-something years old, visiting from Athens, but he's from China. And I'm here by myself for my 30th birthday. I went and I got some food last night, and me and George, we ate, bro. Like, he had just had, like, maybe 2 eggs for dinner, and that was it. And I was like, bruh, it's my birthday. Like, I'm gonna go buy some food and come home and we're gonna eat. And, like, we sat here on this table that I'm at right now, and we had one of the best conversations that I've ever had with a random stranger eating Portuguese food in the middle of Lisboa. And it was a worthwhile experience for me. I'm always that person to share. Like, no matter what I have, I try to give. But that lesson last night opened my mind and my heart a bit more. Because I could have just put all the food in the fridge, gone into my bedroom and sit down and just eat. But I said, no. I said, George, come. And George said, no. 2 times. He said, no, I'm okay. But the third time, he got that bowl out and his chopsticks. He came, he sat right down there. and we talked. And I had my iPhone. I was talking on the translator. I said, George, I was telling him stuff, and he was translating back from Chinese. And we had a great conversation. You understand? So it's always better to share than to eat alone. All right? That goes for if you're making all that money or you have, maybe you get celebrity now because you are on YouTube or whatever you're doing, share it. Right? Because I think there was a quote in the Bible. It's like, what is given, I don't know the quote. If I find it, I'll put it up and I'll put it in the video for you guys. That is my quick run through of the 7 and 8 best lessons that I've learned over my 20s. Number 1, don't take advice from anyone less successful than you, but listen to the old people. 2, make room for the impossible. It can happen to you if you let it. 3, you cannot win every battle, nor should you try to. You must learn to use your enemies, but never forget. 4, it was never cool to be dumb. Never. 5, become a student again. If you find yourself learning or not learning, you're doing something wrong. 6, go see your grandma, but know when to leave. 7, then people are not your friend, but it's not you, it's them. And number 8, it's always better to share a piece of your cake than to eat it alone. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah. Hey.